Hello everyone, and now I'm going to explain to you a little bit of the exercises that I'm doing. And welcome to my room. Hello. And yes, I'm wearing my pajamas. So basically, the first exercise is floor press. I usually do this without the normal bench because I'm just lazy and I rather just sit on the floor. I put that little mattress that you see in the picture, and that's basically it. My tip and my suggestion for you to have more progression, because the room of motion is not going to be as big and as wide or as long as the normal exercise, is when you go down, you stay here for 1 or 2 seconds, and you can see that in the video. Now we go to pull-ups. In this case, chin-ups. And yes, I do chin-ups because they are a little bit easier on my wrists and I just feel better doing them. I try to every time go for at least 8 pull-ups or chin-ups. And now for the last two exercises, it's the same, so to speak, place, or the same, like, how do I say this? Equipment. So basically the first thing that I do is the unilateral row. And the main point with this is that don't go straight, okay? Don't pull straight. Imagine that you are rowing on a boat, which basically means that you have to do this motion. So you have to come back and upwards, okay? You don't have to go completely straight. I used to do that mistake in the gym. And then we do the shoulder isometric hold. Basically, it's just to, I think isometric hold movements are very, very beneficial. And usually in our daily lives, if we do more isometric holds, we will feel a little bit more stronger when we do our daily tasks. And that's the workout. And now we're going to the topic. Hi everyone, and now for the topic of this video, and welcome to my room, we are going to talk about group dynamics. So I feel like this is a very interesting topic that not only is, and it happens, it's a reality in formal setups of work, professional stuff, etc., and also informal setups. So every time, and the inspiration that I got to make this video was that I went to a work dinner, and basically that dinner was completely informal, and I watched a lot of these group dynamic realities and rules or whatever unfold, and I was like, I have to make a video about this. So this is something that you take away, this knowledge, so to speak, and it's basically the knowledge of perception. Okay, now you know that these things exist, and now you can better observe life around you. And I think that's one of the main principles that I always applied in my life, is just being able to set myself back a little bit and observe the situation. So I do have my trustworthy phone because now I'm shooting this video on my iPhone. So I am going to be reading a couple things that I wrote down here, okay, so that this video is not very dispersed, I guess, and not like too general. I do briefly want to mention, like I said, so I went to that dinner. Most of the team was there. It was the first dinner that I ever went to with that team, and honestly, one of the first of work dinners that I've ever went to. The other work lunches and work like food situations that I had were a little bit more simplistic. This one was like an actual dinner where people were having fun, and we could watch these group dynamics come into play. All right, so basically, these dynamics are going to be shaped, of course, by social norms, personal relationships, and the work hierarchy. Okay, the hierarchy here, which basically means that the top boss will always have a little bit more power, it's gonna come into play in this. It's normal, okay? So, but I'm gonna read more into this, of this role of the hierarchy. So basically, managers or leaders may still hold this central role in discussion. They may actually sit down at the middle of the table. And then junior employees might feel a little bit hesitant to fully relax, and especially if it's something new or less familiar. It's normal, because usually managers or leaders are there for more time, so they've been in this sort of situation more time, you know, it's in their repertoire. But what I mean with this is that they usually can have this central role, or maybe at the edge of one table, okay, or at the edge of the table. It's very interesting to watch these dynamics, because then you can associate with how that person is in terms of their personality and where they sit. So it's very, very interesting. Not always like this, okay? Sometimes you just get late to a dinner and you have to sit in one specific place, but I think you understand what I'm saying. Then we have the formation of subgroups. So basically, these cliques may be formed based on department, past collaborations, or teams inside the workforce. In that case, there wasn't much of that, but there was some of it. Then we have communication style. So the tone will be typically more relaxed and personal. The main thing that I want to focus on here is personal. So humor and storytelling are very common. And then we can also have these open-ended topics, which often go and shift towards work, okay? We're not going to speak about our informal life at a dinner because we don't have that type of connection. So it's normal that you go to a work dinner outside of work, but you're still thinking and talking about work. It's normal, okay? Don't worry about it. But the main thing is that this communication style can sometimes have this, and this is the main topic of the video, can sometimes have this alpha mindset. It doesn't really have to be a manager or leader, but in a group dynamic, there's always someone on top. There's always someone who's going to guide others towards themselves with their jokes, with their communication style, with their emphasis, with their discussions. And he will sometimes pick on the weak ones. And you see this play out. And yes, I mean, technically, this can be a little bit of a form of bullying. Okay? I'm using a lot of these quotes, but this can be a little bit of a bullying form. But the main point is that they just want to reassure themselves. Okay, this person who's on top, who's commanding the interaction, and you will quickly understand who it is. I don't need to do a very detailed video about that. It's very interesting because then you understand that they are picking on the weak ones to make themselves look a little bit bigger and be more charismatic and animated and all that. So this is the main thing, is that I just want you to be aware of that, okay? And then at the end, I'm going to give you a couple tips for how you can maybe fight back against that, just in my general opinion. All right. And then, of course, extroverts tend to dominate conversations, and then this leaves introverts to be a little bit more quiet, okay? Because they usually don't have, unless they are invited to participate, it leaves people a little bit more quiet. It's normal, okay? That's how it happens. Okay, so, and then I'm gonna tell, I guess, some strategies for better dynamics. So I'm gonna write what I have here, but then I'm gonna tell you one or two more that I just have from the top of my head. So, encourage interaction, rotate seats, or pair people for conversations. It is very, very crucial to know where you are sitting in a dinner because of that. Because if you are next to someone who's going to talk more, you're going to feel a little bit more, you're going to feel great. You're going to feel open, especially if you're an introvert. Then set the tone, okay? So leaders should foster inclusivity and downplay hierarchy, okay? They should gather in people. Easier said than done, because then even if you are a manager or leader, you will always feel why am I including people? I just want to be by myself too. We always have that thing, okay? Unless you are an experienced extrovert in dinners, so to speak, even in those times, people just want to have the power and they're not going to include others because they're feeling good. And then we have to balance topics, include the diverse and neutral topics that everyone can, be engaged. Everyone can give their opinion. All right, but the actual 2 tips about this video, which is in terms of when you find an alpha in the group and he is directing everything and he's picking on the weak ones, you have to stay strong. And by staying strong is not being reactive, but at the same time being reactive and giving a little bit of wood to the fire, okay? And making some jokes, making sure that you are engaging with people and making some jokes, making people laugh. Easier said than done, but with these 2 things, you can get out of some nasty situations that you feel like you're being picked on or you're feeling like you're being left off. There are other things that you can do, of course, but the main thing is if you make people laugh and if you also are not too reactive, but you give some wood to the fire, people are going to feel like, oh my God, this guy is grounded. This guy is centered. He actually knows how to have fun at the same time that he is true to himself and he is centered, grounded. Again, this is easier said than done. If you are in a group dynamic, you will First of all, observe these things happen, and then the main objective is you can come back to this video and then apply some strategies, or basically just observe and analyze, because it's very interesting to analyze and observe things in our life. It's one of the major keys for us to improve. Okay, we have to be analytical about things. Not always, but I think it's good. Thank you so much for watching this video. Hope you enjoyed the totality of the video. I hope to see you in the next one, and I will. Next Sunday, we will be here with another workout and another topic. Goodbye. Thank you so much. Yeah.